chili dogs. Welcome back to the channel. I am the Pumpkinator, and today we are covering the first 2 issues of DC Sonic the Hedgehog crossover event. When they announced this, I was like, bro, why do I want to read this? It's one of those comics that's like dumb, but it's just kind of fun, you know? Like, we're definitely gonna see Sonic and Flash race or something like that. We're definitely gonna see like Shadow, like Brood, but like in the Batman fashion. Wonder Woman and Amy might have like a moment or something, I don't know. Rouge the Bat? Are we gonna see her? I sure hope so. So without any further ado, let's dive in there. I sure hope we see her. The issue starts with, whoa, is that a chili dog? Yeah! The writers know what they're doing. The issue starts on Earth in Sonic's dimension. We hear a narrator say a world known for its fanciful terrain, miraculous wonders, and now unspeakable horrors. As we see a ship that's shaped like Darkseid's dome descending down on Sonic's picnic. What in the world is that? It certainly isn't a little planet. Doesn't look like Dr. Eggman style either. Think there's any chance they come in peace? Then a bunch of parademons come out and attack them, and Sonic's like, no, of course not. Sonic and Amy start fighting off the parademons, and Tails kinda just ducks for cover. After fighting for a bit, Sonic says, doesn't look like they're stopping, and I don't see a way to shut off the tap. So he grabs his friends and says they need to make some space for now, and he shoots off with his friends. Tails says, those things are coming out of some kind of portal. It stands to reason if one opened up here. There's others elsewhere. We need to check on our friends. Hang tight, we'll make this quick. We then cut to a floating island where we see Knuckles and he's protecting the Master Emerald. We hear a voice say, we're approaching Angel Island, my lord. The father box says it's held aloft by the Master Emerald, which is safeguarded by a lone guardian. We see the person speaking is Assad, and him and Darkseid are monitoring Idris Elba. Assad continues to say, Father Box also detects that the gem has the power to neutralize what we're searching for.
They're eliminated.
As you command, Lord Darkseid. And yet, it will take much of Ragnarok's energy reserve to do so, and we will lose a potential totem of arcane power.
Do not make me repeat myself, Assad. Once I have obtained what I seek, power will never be a concern again.
We then cut back to Knuckles and he just beat up one of the parademons. He says, that's right, run! Knuckles looks up and says, now what? Oh, don't you dare. Then Darkseid shoots a big ass beam that hits the Emerald, and Knuckles gets saved right before it hits. Emerald starts to shatter until it explodes, taking the entire island with it. Cutting back to Sonic & Co., we see that Sunset City is being swarmed. Sonic just kind of abandons Amy and Tails, and he presses forward. As he runs, he catches up with the Flash. What are you doing here? You've got the wrong guy. Still, I like your hustle. Sorry, guess you're one of the locals, huh? Hang back, I'll handle the parademons. That's adorable. You can help out if you can keep up. Listen, kid, I'm the Flash. I'm speed personified, and I'm speed perfected. They look at each other and they start booking it. They run under Silver the Hedgehog, who's floating in the air. He uses his psychic powers to take out the parademons, but he's getting a little overwhelmed until the demons suddenly explode. Turns out it was John Stewart, and he's impressed with Silver's skill. They decide to work together to take out the threat.
Are you a psychic too? Nope. Limited edition alien tech. What about you? Alien? Metahuman?
Nope, just a hedgehog.
Just, he says. Let's clear the skies so we can focus on the ground level.
We see under them that a parademon is chasing a rat mama and a little rat baby. When she gets cornered, Batman and Shadow takes out a parademon. Literally the match made in heaven. God, they're so edgy. I kind of wonder when Shadow's gonna start shooting people. When the parademon's down, they look at each other and they head out. We then catch back up with Amy and Tails on the street in the city. They run into this giant robo coming around the corner. They start trying to take out the giant, but then our lasso wraps itself around it. Sad. A laser shoots right through the robot, and we see it's Wonder Woman and Cyborg that took him out. Booyah! Nice effort. Can you lend us more aid? God, I'm so bad at lady voices. But then they get approached by a hulking behemoth. He says, list as many animals as you want, Wonder Woman. All will be led to the slaughter before a Kalabak. But then Knuckles comes up behind him and knocks the shit out of him. That was for dropping my island out of the sky. I hardly felt that. But then Superman says bet and slams down on his bitch ass. Did you feel that one? I wasn't done with him, Superman. Sorry, Knuckles. Thanks for softening him up for me. Wait, what happened to Angel Island?
Fell into the ocean after the invaders blew up the Master Emerald. I would have gone with it if not for him. I'm sorry I couldn't do more. There's a lull in the invasion. We need to go over what more we can do.
Oh, God, how does Shadow sound?
You're a colorful bunch. You're a colorful bunch. What the fuck? Start with explanations. Who are these monsters? Who are you?
Then Sonic and Flash come zooming in. 248, 249, too slow, Blue. Hold on! I'm not counting the parademons I took out at Never Lake. Oh hey, we're all here. Anyone care to bring us up to speed? Especially for Flash, since he's so slow. If you were half as fast as your mouth, you'd... But then Superman interrupts him and introduces the Justice League to the Sonic gang. And Sonic does the same. But Knuckles says, enough pleasantries. Who's responsible for this? And when do we make him pay? His name is Darkseid. He's bad news. Conquering worlds and looking for the anti-life equation.
We stopped his ambitions in the past. Now, he's launched a mobile satellite called the Ragnarok that can cross dimensions. I guess he's seeking worlds and powers outside the normal scope of our multiverse to fuel his conquests.
To find your world, Darkseid had to cast a wide net. I have some of his tech integrated into my systems, so I picked up on his search. We were able to make a boom tube of our own to try to intercept him before things got bad.
He's got to be after the Chaos Emeralds.
Oh, it's the Emeralds. There's 7 You know what the Chaos Emeralds are. Come on.
With that kind of power, he could fuel the Ragnarok and destroy countless worlds. Or bypass his search and manifest the anti-life equation directly.
They ask if there's anything that can counter their powers, but Darkseid kind of blew it up already. Still, they have all the pieces now and it's time to make a plan. But then Shadow gets all angsty and says he doesn't have time for this. And he walks off. But Batman says he'll handle this.
Who was it? What? The one you couldn't protect. The one you watched die in front of you.
How would you?
For me, it was my parents. I was too young, too weak to do anything. That pain, that anger never leaves you. I see it in you too. Her name was Maria. She was gunned down by the military one, trying to keep me safe. Me, the ultimate life form. I swore to never let that happen again. To protect the city my parents loved, to protect their world, I will use every advantage at my disposal. That includes a Justice League. You're a valuable asset in stopping Darkseid. Likewise, we'd be valuable to you. I see. You better be worth the trouble.
Cutting back to the two groups, they're trying to find a way to track down the emeralds. They've done it before, but not in such a tight timetable. Tails says that he's been developing something to track them, but it's not complete yet. But the Hedgehogs say they don't have time to tinker in a lab because Darkseid's on the move now. They agree and decide to pair up and search for the emeralds while Tails and Cyborgs work on the detector. Maybe once this is all over, we can trade specs. I've got an arm cannon that I've been tinkering with for a while.
Sure, but somehow I doubt you would want to route its energy lines through your vital organs.
Haha, yeah, I'll pass. No offense.
Your whole world is gone, and its remains poison you? That's too cruel.
Maybe, but I cherish my life on Earth. It makes it all more important that I keep it safe.
You're alright, Soups.
Your car can fly?
How disrespectful that I give that voice to Wonder Woman, bro. That's nothing. You can fly.
There's something to be said for piloting. I love flying my invisible jet too.
You have an invisible jet?
Then we see the edgy duo zoom on by.
Here, if I integrate some of the Motherbox software, we can reduce the variance noise and boost the global aperture. You just upgraded my systems 100-fold in seconds. You're amazing. Don't sell yourself short. The fact that I'm even able to interface with your rig is a testament to your skill. And your ring can make anything you think of, anything at all.
Just about.
Just need a clear mind and the willpower to see it through. That's so cool. It's like mind over matter, but better. It's really all natural. No crazy mad science treadmill accident or anything. What you see is what you get. I'm just a hedgehog who loves adventure. Is that the place? Yep. When in doubt, start with South Island and go there. Oh crap. You got into one, Blue. Then they pull up on Darkseid, who's already got one of the emeralds. The blue one! Which I think doesn't make it an emerald. Can emeralds come in blue?
Darkseid says, it all starts with this. A gem containing the ultimate power.
And that is where the issue ends. I honestly think Darkseid might have bitten off more than he can chew, because when Sonic turns into Super Sonic, aka Super Saiyan Sonic, he's gonna be cooked. We both know that's gonna happen. Anyway, this comic's like a 20 out of 10. Let's move on to issue 2. The second issue picks up right where the last one's left off, with Sonic and Flash pulling up on Darkseid. Sonic asks if this is the guy, and Flash is like, yeah, but he's stupid strong. And Sonic says, cool, I like a challenge. They both rush him and try to take the emerald from him, but none of their attacks are working, and they can't seem to get the emerald away from him either. He grabs Flash and throws him into Sonic. Flash says, oh hell, run! As Darkseid shoots Omega beams at them. The beams chase them and Sonic's like, I can't shake it. Any ideas? Flash tells him to come at him, and when he does, Sonic jumps over him and the beams collide, causing an explosion. As Sonic and Flash get up, Darkseid opens a boom tube and dips. Flash radios to the rest of the Justice League and tells them that Darkseid just got one of the emeralds, and low-key blames Sonic for it. We see that the rest of the peeps are still searching for the emerald, but they've come up with nothing so far. Cyborg says they almost have a working tracker though. Darkseid hops aboard the Ragnarok and tells Desaad to report. Desaad says, sorry bro, but I can't find the other emeralds. Darkseid's like, bro, we found one. Why can't you find the others? Turns out the nature of their powers is too chaotic, and it's as if they're actively trying to hide from them. Well, Darkseid does not like it, because the Justice League is here and it's going to make things a lot harder. So he sends out his elite warriors to look for the emeralds. He decides to apply the one that he already has to the dimensional engines, and sees if it's worth the effort. A bunch of Apocalypse forces just launched. If they've got even a passing idea where the emeralds are, then we can cross-reference that with our own data and bingo! We've got solid search coordinates. Heads up, League, I'm sending you to the emeralds closest to you. I'm telling you, I can move within picon seconds. Aw, your speed can still be measured? That's adorable! God, Sonic's kinda cooking my guy for real. Batman says, okay, we've got a plan, but what's the contingency? Because Darkseid is hella powerful. Yassified Soup says, find the emeralds and take the one he has. Wonder Woman says that Batman's right though. What are they gonna do? And Sai says he has a boom tube if things go south. But John says they can do better than that. Manga Art Superman says that they can rise to the occasion like they always do. And they can rely on their new buds. Each one of the duelists takes on one of Darkseid's minions. But we stop in with Batman and Shadow, who found Steppenwolf with one of the emeralds.
The mortal man and the tiny animal wish to challenge Steppenwolf? Very well. I will award your heads along with the gem to my Lord Darkseid. Huh? Ah! Impressive. You move faster than I could perceive. There's no way you could've. I used chaos control to stop time. That might be the key to undermining Darkseid. Of course, I am the ultimate.
But then the ground starts to shake and they get surrounded by a bunch of Sparkies. Turns out those Sparkies are being seen around the world. The source of the Sparkies is Darkseid. He's testing out the power of the Emerald. He says,
with just this one, I could manipulate this world with all 7 universes.
Batman radios the League and says that they should probably focus more on Darkseid now. Supes agrees, but they need something to get everybody up to Ragnarok. They ask Tails if he has anything, but he's like, nah, I don't have anything that big. But over the comms, we hear, hold that thought, gang. We might have a volunteer for a rideshare. As we see Dr. Eggman's ship hovering over Sonic and Flash. Eggman hits that shit and says, Sonic, I should have known you would have been up against this threat. Is this your bad guy? And Sonic's like, yeah, he's like a mechanical genius who wants to conquer the world. Eggman's like, shut up, dog. I already don't want to be here. But he can't just ignore such a threat. He says he'll take him up to the flying face. Then he flies his ship directly into the eye of the Ragnarok. Once they're inside, they start taking out the parademons. Wonder Woman's high-key wanting to knock out this guy, and Sonic and Flash start their search for Darkseid. Flash finds Darkseid and tells people to gather to his location. Darkseid's like, damn, y'all won't quit, and shoots an Omega Beam at them. But Supes flies in and takes the hit. Superman tells them that they need to lock in, and the Speedy Duo is like, okay, that's fair. Batman shows up and it's like,
break the machine and get the emerald.
They all swarm on Darkseid, and they kind of start beating him up. He gets wrapped up in the lasso of truth and Shadow's like, you guys struggle with this? Batman's like, bro, shut up and go. Shadow activates chaos control, but Darkseid says,
Fatherbox discovered much about your world, about chaos control. That promise of power and control drew me here. Impossible. To most mortals, assuredly, but not to you, for you are the ultimate life form, and not to me, for Darkseid is.
He grabs a lasso and slams Wonder Woman into Supes, and also takes out Shadow. Sonic and Flash makes a plan where Sonic goes for the Emerald and Flash goes to take out the machine. Sonic home and attacks Darkseid, and Flash runs past him and goes to the machine. Flash tries to vibrate his particles into the machine, and Darkseid's like, and shoots an Omega Beam at Flash. He gets protected by John and Silver though. Flash asks Cyborg what he's supposed to be looking for, but Cy says the energies are way out of sync, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint. Darkseid has had enough and blasts everybody away. Flash and Cyborg gets pushed into the machine and start to fall. The machine starts to activate, and we see an Eldritch being charging up a beam, and Cy says the Chronon, Gravitons, and Tachyons are all off the charts. They're looking at total quantum collapse. Tails says the Diamond Engine is starting to destabilize. Time and space aren't going to mean anything in a minute. Darkseid is about to use the emeralds to take control of the machine, but Supes and Wonder Woman tried to hold him back. Batman tells Lantern to bubble the Sonic characters and tells Cy to make a boom tube to get them out of there. He says they're putting all their faith into them and they get sent through the tube. They suddenly arrive in the Watchtower and Mr. Terrific is like, who are you? He puts together they were from the world that Darkseid was attacking and asks where the League is. They explain that reality was collapsing, so they sent them there. They ask him to let them go back, but Mr. Terrific says, I can't. There's no dimensional coordinates to target. Your world is gone. Darkseid, the Justice League, and everything else is gone. And that is where the issue ends. And I gotta say, this story's kind of peak. Like, I get it, it's for kids, but it's like hitting the best part of my ADHD lizard brain, bro. I really like in the end here, they just low-key trade universes. Do you think that these guys are gonna start fighting each other's villains? Because like low-key, that kind of sounds fire. Shadow v Joker. Joker's dead, bro. Please save the world, Shadow. Anyway, I had a lot of fun with this. If you guys want me to read more of this comic, let me know down in the comments below. And if there's any other comics that you want me to cover, let me know down there too. I would love to know what you guys think down there. Make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss out on any more comic book content. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And make sure you tell your family that y'all love them. Bye-bye now!